Clunky clunk. And we're live. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the show. We've been on hiatus for a little while. Hiatus? Been on a break.
Hiatus?
It's starting off well already. This is the Daytripper Photo Show. Thank you, everybody, for watching this week. My name is Bryan Weiss. I own Daytripper Photo, and we do lots of fun day trips. We just had one this past Sunday. Darren, you were absolutely cover your ears under 18-year-old badass on this weekend day trip. Lots of people were very, very thrilled with everything we went over. Great tips for birds in flight, and it turned into a beautiful day, and it was great because we had permits, so everything was legal. It was really cool. Darren?
Cops didn't show up and bust us, so that's always a good thing.
I know, it's right, eh? So how have you been this week, other than our awesome day trip?
I've been good. I had a fun day today. I helped out with the Photo Voice project up here in Georgina, Hospice, Georgina. It was a government-sponsored program, and the idea is for people to go around taking photos in the community, and then they write a story. So it's pictures and storytelling to tell a story. And today was the end of the program, so they handed out awards and books and put everything together, and I got a nice big poster. It's not here; it's in the living room. I got a nice big poster and a thank you card. It was cool. It was a lot of fun.
That sounds pretty cool. Good for you for getting out there and doing that.
It was teaching a lot of old people how to use cameras. A couple of days, the first day, it was really funny because I was sort of all prepared for showing people how to use cameras, but I knew that I had to keep it simple, so I threw some complicated stuff in at the end in case I needed to. I could always jump to it. And then I had the basic easy stuff. So one of the things I put in there was how to reset your camera. That became the #1 thing that as soon as I saw the people there, that's what I led off with. So no matter what you do to this thing, here's the instructions on how you fix it.
Nice.
Point and shoot. Just push the button down, count 2 Mississippis, release, walk away, you're okay. For some people it was, even that was a little bit too much for them. But there was, I guess some people don't like new things, right? If you're, when you get older, you don't like new technology, right? You're scared of things. So there were some people, they just, I guess they were more scared of the writing and having to take photos than they were of the camera.
Right.
But, no, they enjoyed it, and it was.
I know some people that still distrust fire. So.
Oh, and
that's that stuff.
Speaking of Gabriel, welcome back to the show, my friend.
Thank you. It's nice to be back. I apologize for my absences as of late. I've been a busy little beaver, but I am not unbusy now, but I am less busy. So it's nice to be back.
I hear you've got some big news.
Yeah, I got this really cool USB. Micro USB charger, which is really cool, and I bought this really neat USB stick, which is fun, and I bought a house, so that's good too.
Just a little thing, a house.
Just
congratulations.
Like 15 minutes ago, we got the final confirmation from our real estate agent. We were up earlier tonight just doing the house inspection and everything, and it's a done deal. Everything's done, and the house is ours. We take possession August 14th.
And so, you said it's just 3 houses down from a school.
Yeah, so it's you walk out the front door, and 3 houses down is the public school that Jaden will be going to, which is really cool.
So if you look at what Darren's screen sharing right now, that'll even be funnier.
Another feature of this home is it's a stone's from several schools. Nice. Well, and I'm going to be up in Georgina as well, which it depends on how long you've lived there. If you're new to the area, then it's called Georgina. If you're an old timer there, then Georgina is just a fancy way of saying Keswick. So, but we just say Georgina.
Well, congratulations. It's a big move, and it's your first place, and that's awesome. I'm excited for you.
Thank you. Yeah, we're a little excited and overwhelmed ourselves.
You know what? 10 years from now, when you're sitting back in your own living room and you've redone every single room in your house, and it's looking the way you've always wanted it to, and you're just relaxing, you'll think, wish I'd done this.
15 years left till I pay for it.
that 15 years will come, and you'll think, oh my God, why do I still owe another 15 years? Oh wait, that's just. Anyway, on with the show. This week's show is on location. Now, the reason I thought of this show was because you see all these people going to these amazing places. Trey Ratcliffe, I mean, the guy lives in New Zealand, posts photos, blows your mind with the photos that he takes. But is it the location, or is it what he's done with the location? And that's what we're going to talk about tonight. We live in Ontario, Southern Ontario, and to us, this is stuff we see all the time. So maybe it might not have the same appeal, but when you shoot it right, and you have the right lighting, and you're there at the right time, it could be a completely different photo. So we're going to give some ideas like those to talk about, and we're going to kind of discuss that kind of stuff and make what we have that looks the same to us every day look a little bit more unique. And you got to realize one thing, guys. We see this every day, but somebody out there has never seen what we see ever. Mm-hmm. So if you could take that and make it look interesting, then they might see that. It's a smaller world today than it was when I was in high school. That's for sure. Speaking of high school, I'm going to scroll here for a second. This past weekend was my high school's 25th reunion. And, thinking back to your 25th reunion in high school and all the differences in the world since when I was in school to what's going on today, I mean, blows my mind. There was no such thing as internet, of course. It's just I'm not going to go that far off on my little squirrel tangent, but
I heard two interesting quotes yesterday. When a high school is trending, you know why. And it's an interesting reflection on society when you hear there's a high school shooting, you look and you go, oh, just two people. Meh.
Oh my God. There's been some scary stuff in the news, but you know what? There's never been a high school shooting in Vermont, so that's something to be proud of. That's where I went to school. Green Mountain Union High School, shout out. Anyway, so location, and that also is part of what we're talking about too, because when I was living in Vermont, I wasn't in photography at all. I didn't own a camera. So the thought of
it takes you off now, doesn't it?
Oh my God! So many cool things I saw when I was living there. I mean, the snow, the skiing, the Green Mountain Range, and of course Vermont means Green Mountain in French, Vermont, which is really cool. So the Green Mountains go through Vermont, and there's nothing like that around here. I mean, we have what, the kind of brownish hills. What would you call that?
The Badlands.
The Badlands are kind of neat, but you can't name the whole province of Ontario after the Badlands.
Oh, that's true.
Niagara Escarpment, we've got Niagara Falls, we've got so many cool places around here that it's incredible.
And speaking of Niagara Falls, on June 22nd, Daytripper Photos going to Niagara Falls, which is really cool. Can't wait for that. There's still some space. We got the big bus for everybody, so got lots of room for everybody on that bus. Register now, www.daytripperphoto.com, and I'm the only one without my lower third on here, so I guess I have to keep on saying www.daytripperphoto.com again and again, all show. Okay. So there was our intro. Quick, before we get to the meat and potatoes, I always do this, and I have to repeat it now, the meat and potatoes. Make sure, if you're watching this after the fact, which you're not right now, but after the fact, if you're watching on YouTube, click like, share our videos, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and tell the world, because we're having so much fun doing this show. I know we took a week off. It has no reason to do with not having fun doing the show. It was purely because
I was house shopping and everything.
And I was back painting, and I couldn't get out of bed, and it was just a big old mess. And I think Darren, what was wrong with Darren?
Nothing was wrong with Darren, but Darren wasn't going to be the only one on the show.
Fair enough. So anyway, we took a week off. We're allowed to do that once every 85 shows, and now we're up to show number 87, so that just totally didn't work. But anyway, welcome to our show. Okay, so let's talk about this, the whole location thing. Do you guys ever run into that situation where, you just see these photos on 500px or anywhere, Google Plus, all these really amazing places to see these vivid, clear photos, and just think, God, if I was only in that spot, I could have made this photo.
Yeah, actually, when you mentioned this screen, the screen, my brain's a little fried. When you mentioned this topic tonight, I immediately thought of this photographer, Trish Vandenberg, and she's a photographer down in Florida, and Barbados, and she always had these incredible pictures of these awesome animals and sunsets and stuff. I always got really ticked off that, well, how come she can grab these, she can get these great pictures because of where she lives, and I can't get pictures like that. And at some point I realized that that's total BS. And a quick example that I had of that is something that was actually shared on our community not too long ago. So somebody took this picture here, which is a picture that I absolutely love. And I was looking at it, I'm like, it's such an incredible picture. It's obviously, it's of the Badlands. I'm like, I wonder where she traveled to get this. I love, I'm so jealous of people that get to travel and stuff. And I look down and it's like half an hour from my house. It's the Ontario Badlands, and she just took it from a perspective that I've seen a lot of people shoot the Badlands. I've never seen a picture that really made me think, ooh, I've got to go there. And then she posted this, and now I'm like, I got to go there. Because, it's just such a great picture, and it's just around the corner.
Yeah, Isabel's a talent, that's for sure. And it's how you see things, and it's, like I said earlier, it's also the time of day that you go. If you go to the Badlands when the sun is really stark and there's no clouds or anything like that, it would be a totally different photo.
Exactly.
So that's a great example. Excellent. And, having lived in Ontario now for the past 25 years, I guess, since high school, I'm not going to squirrel. Don't worry, it's okay. I'm very used to what we have around here, and I think I've pretty much seen it all. There's lots of farms, and there's lots of hills and landscapes, and more farms, and some old abandoned houses that used to be farms, and stuff like that. Anyway, something to do with farms. And hi, Shelley. This is my wife, Shelley. Everybody. There she is. Interesting.
Hi, Shelley.
I guess we're turning on the air conditioning.
We already have.
Okay. Well, thank you very much.
No problem.
It's the first time she's ever been on the show.
TV.
Live TV. All right. So anyway, yeah, it's just saying that with all the different things that have been around here, it's hard to believe that it could still look interesting to somebody. And even if I just go for a walk somewhere now, seeing things in a different way, understanding that if you shoot from a different perspective, or you try something different, or you add light in a certain place, you can make it look totally different. And you always have to remember that this is different to somebody else, and that's the big important thing. Darren, have you ever made a shot around here that you just thought, God, I hope somebody sees this and just gets a better feel for where we live?
No, I don't want them to know my spot, and then they'll scoop all the good shots, and I'll have to work harder to find a new spot.
Darren's that douchebag that strips all the data from their pictures.
I know. This is a community of giving, Darren.
The York Regional Forest is a great place to go. A couple of times, when I've been, kind of down in the dumps photography-wise, just thinking, there's nothing new, nothing to do. I go out for a walk in there, and I always find something new. I may end up with no good photos at the end of it, but I've got an idea. Mm-hmm. I say, oh, well, this would have been a little bit better if I would have done this, or it gives me the inspiration. I've seen a fallen tree somebody had cut down to move out of the way, and it looked like an alligator, with the snow piled on top of it in the wintertime. In the summertime, getting some close-ups of the red wire fence and the fence post and the fence staples, getting in close for things like that. There's moss that grows on the trees. Pop up the flash, shoot inside, to see that. Mm-hmm. Next time I'm going to bring the tripod, because you really need large depth of field or focus stacking, or try a different technique, because I didn't get it all in focus. But just so much cool stuff that's around. If you just look in the forest and see what's there, you just see a bunch of trees.
Absolutely. I've just opened up the Q&A, and I'm just checking in to see if there's any notes here. Nothing yet. I guess people are just checking in. Good. Okay. So yeah, that's the beauty of the area that we live, and from season to season, it can look totally different too.
That is another advantage that we have here. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That when you're walking through the forest, you go back one day. Go ahead, Darren.
Cloudy days are great. That photo that Gabriel showed, that photo was taken on a somewhat cloudy day. And, you just go out, persistence.
Exactly. And that's the beautiful part about being a photographer and sticking to your local areas. You can actually go back again and again and again until you find something unique. If you ever find something that you think compositionally is really interesting, but the light just doesn't speak to you, go back. Wait for that light.
That's another thing, like when you compare, Barbados and stuff. In Barbados, say you're taking a picture of a hammock, there's like 4 pictures that you can get. There's a daytime picture, there's a sunset picture, there's a sunrise picture, there's a nighttime picture, right? But in Canada, there's a fall picture, there's a summer picture, there's well, spring isn't going to look very much different. There's a winter picture, there's a morning, and the light is different at dusk in the fall than it is at dusk in winter. And there's a million different pictures that we can make of the exact same location. We have, a virtual smorgasbord of creativity right in front of us that other people can't take advantage of.
Shh, don't say that. All those people from, those places are going to move up here and...
Yeah, they're not allowed. The rules here are too tough.
They're going to leave their homeland and come here for the snow, and after this winter, I don't think.
Oh my God, yeah, they'll stay for 5 days of it, and then, no, I want to go home. I just want to say a couple of highs to some people. Kathleen, hello, Natalia, and Ron, of course. Thank you all for watching. If anybody else is watching and they want to join in the question and answer, go right ahead. We are paying attention. If you have a question about anything we've talked about, if there's a location that you like, that you'd like to share with the rest of the community, go ahead and pipe up and let us know. We can announce that on the air. I know, like Darren says, you don't want to give away all your cool little fishing spots, but you know what, guys? This is a time to embrace our photography and to show the world all the great places that we can go to. So,
I went to a workshop. I was a member of the Richmond Hill Camera Club at the time, and the speaker was talking about great places to go to take photos, except that he never told us the great places to go to take photos. He just showed us pictures of great places that he had been to, but he didn't tell us where they were.
Nice. Protectionism. I guess it's okay. I mean, everybody has their own reasons, right? Personally, I'm the type of guy, and with the whole community, Daytripper Photo per se, if I find a place that's really cool, I want to see what other people's takes on it would be as well. A lot of people up here, at least that I know of in Canada, Ontario, are very cautious and careful about where they go and how they treat our nature and our environment. So I don't really fear people, ruining it, damaging it, destroying it, because I think we have a greater respect for our natural resources than a lot of countries, maybe. And that's just hoping, I guess. Maybe I'm naive. Darren, you're laughing.
I don't have any one particular great spot. I mean, the great spots are what you make of them. Are you willing to put in the time? Are you willing to, go in the bush, to go in the early morning, to go in the late evening, to go just after it rains? That's when you can get some of the really stunning images.
Well, yeah, and a great spot is in the eye of the beholder at that moment. I have certain customers that I drive to 2 or 3 times a month, and I'll drive past the same area dozens of times, and then that one day, the light is just right or the clouds are just right. You're like, oh my God! You pull over, and because you always have your camera with you, right?
As you should.
You're able to capture it. So sometimes, a great spot is that spot that you've seen 1,000 times, but just wasn't great at the time.
And Joseph says that he rolls up his wheelchair to the Bogart Pond. Oh no, he didn't say wheelchair. Sorry, Joe.
Oh my God! He's military. He can hurt you.
Oh, probably in my sleep, but I'd never know it.
Yeah, right. Exactly. No, what he says is, I just walked outside my door on Bogart Pond and photograph. And that's the beauty part, is a lot of us have that capability. I don't necessarily have a pond right outside my door, but my backyard's pretty cool. And I've got some really great plants growing, and it's looking better than it ever has right now. And I want to get out there.
Pond, anybody can go there.
On Golden Pond, on Bogart Pond. I get what you're saying.
No. Anybody can go there. You can go park in the parking lot and go walk in the pond.
Where is Bogart Pond? Let's give detailed descriptions. Everybody will knock on Joe's leg.
Leslie Street, just north of, not Elgin Mills. Is it Elgin Mills? No. That's in Richmond Hill. North of New Lock.
Oh, that's Bogart Pond?
Yeah, New Lock and Leslie. It's a condo building in there.
Market, Ontario.
Runs off of Leslie. I think it's the first driveway north of New Lock on Leslie. It's on the west side. You wouldn't even know it was there.
Now I'm gonna kind of go on a bit of a scroll for a second. But it's really disappointing to me, the construction that's going on St. John's Side Road and all that area. I don't know if you guys have driven there lately. There used to be a place, Shelley used to call it the Drunk Monks.
Yeah.
I don't know if you know what I'm talking about. It's just on St. John's Side Road, and it was, I guess, east of Bayview. Anyway, it was beautiful, lush forest all over the place, and now you drive down, and there's just houses on both sides, and there's digging stuff up all over the place. And I thought Newmarket was going up, not out. Like I thought they stopped the sprawl, but whatever. I digress. Okay, that's my rant for the moment. I'll have another one in a minute. Oh, and Joseph says if he tells you, he's going to shoot you. Milok and Leslie is what it is. Thank you. All right, so what about composites? Like I kind of have in the notes here these composites, and a lot of people are making these photos these days where you wouldn't think that they're from here, and yet they're right from down the street because they've taken a photo from here and a photo from there, and they put them together. Have you guys done a lot of that kind of stuff?
No.
No, me either.
Nope. Next topic.
Next topic.
Yeah, I was listening to a podcast the other day, and the photographer was saying, take advantage of where you are and take pictures that you may want to use later. So if you are on a vacation, take pictures of the different doors and the different backdrops and the different things that just seem like mundane, but you don't see in your neighborhood. Take pictures of all that stuff because later on you may want to use them as a backdrop or as a composite for something else.
Mm-hmm. And also, if you aren't traveling, like I hate to say it, but I'm not much of a traveler. I'm not going to be jumping on a plane anytime soon. So for me, I'm not going to be going to Barbados or the Bahamas to get these pictures of tropical things. So you know what? I can go to the grocery store and I can buy a coconut, and I can take pictures of a coconut, of the skin, and I can use that as a texture for something. Or I could buy pineapple and use that for something. Like there's all these textures that you can get that would lend well to a composite for other reasons, right? So you can kind of create your own tropical vibe. Martin says sometimes you have to be willing to get up early or go out late to get the shot you want, and be patient for conditions to change if it's not great when you get there. Absolutely true. When we go to Algonquin Park, we have to get up and leave Newmarket by 2 a.m. so we can get there for sunrise. You have to sacrifice for the greater good, I guess you can say. And Martin's done quite a bit of that, of course. He's got some amazing photos, sunrises, sun coming through the clouds. I mean, it's all about timing and light, and when you can combine those things, anything looks great, especially this beautiful little province like Ontario. I love it here. I do. Just saying.
Well, if you don't like the weather, you wait 5 minutes and it changes.
Yeah, exactly.
This morning I had a little bit of heat on. This afternoon I had the air conditioner on, so.
Yeah, I know. We left the house and we were going for lunch, and Shelley's mother had a sweater. She had to go back in and change, and by the time lunch was done, she wanted her sweater back. But Don says, when I was in high school, I had no desire for photography. Now, photography is my reason to explore the world. I think that photography has allowed me to experience far more than the average person, all for a picture, in my mind and in the camera. Absolutely true. I agree with that as well. In my high school years as well, it was more about playing the drums and doing a lot of other things. Never really thought about photography, and maybe like I kept on telling myself living in Vermont to appreciate every minute because I knew I'd be moving. For me, in that time of my life, it was always a couple years here, a couple years there. So knowing that you're going to be leaving this beautiful place, I was imprinting that in my brain, kind of in the bus, going like this. Remember this. Taking pictures with my eyes. That's what I was doing with that blink. I wasn't having a seizure. It's okay. Anyway, so trying to remember that. But if I was, again, in photography back in the day, that would have been amazing to be able to capture some of that stuff.
I used to work on an animal haven where I regularly hung out with tigers, wallabies, Arctic and timber wolves, peacocks, macaque and green monkeys, and a big Alaskan brown bear called Oso. I mean, and I didn't take a single picture the entire time. I look back and I just want to beat myself.
Yeah, I'd be upset about that for sure.
Yes.
That's something that not everybody has a chance to do. So.
Yeah, exactly.
Who was another person that posted photos from Hoover Dam recently? Was it Martin?
What, the collapse of the dam or something? He's watching on Google?
Yeah, the collapse of the dam, right. No, he posted some photos from there, and I said, I remember when I was there. And I went, when I was, sort of newer in photography, but didn't, I knew stuff, but I didn't know then what I know now. and there's just so many great images that I could have gotten back then. You know, if I would have known, had the experience that I have now, and especially digital, because back then it was, you know, film, and I shot a bunch of slide film. And with slide film, if you don't expose it correctly, it's not as forgiving as print film. So I've got a lot of washed out images of the Grand Canyon because I think I messed up on the ISO setting, or I don't, something I messed up.
I wonder what's worse, knowing that you were in an area and you weren't into photography, or knowing you were in an area you were into photography, you just sucked.
Column A, column B. Pretty bad on both ways. Let's see here. When you mentioned having seen everything here, this is Blake, by the way. It's what I thought when I went to BC. I wouldn't want to live there because I'd become used to the scenery. We're used to here. We have crazy stuff all over. You just have to look at it in a different view. I agree. And I think if you lived in BC all the time, you would just find more and more and more and more cool things to shoot, because that's a place I do want to go to. 100%.
That's one of the best provinces because you've got a desert. You know, the Fraser Valley can become desert-like. You've got the mountains where there's snow and glaciers. You've got, you know, green meadows and you know, good farmland, and then you've got the coast. It's sort of like you've got the whole continent all within that one province.
Pretty much the whole world, rainforest, everything.
Yeah.
XL pipelines.
Yeah, right.
Another thing that I was listening, I was listening to a podcast the other day, and a photographer that does stock photography brought up that things that we take for granted every single day, like just driving through a housing development. One thing that I noticed when I used to go down in the States to buy stuff that, you know, like electronics and stuff that you can't buy here in Canada, as soon as you cross into the States, you know you're in another country. The houses look different. There's different blueprints, different designs, different guidelines and stuff with their houses. So even just something as simple as a basic subdivision or a roundabout in a subdivision, somebody that's doing some advertising in South Africa where they don't have that type of housing, you know, that with that type of look, or you know, large skyscrapers of that type, or something like that. Things that we see every day are in huge demand in other countries. Even just this guy said that he's made a few $1,000s just off of street signs. He just goes and takes really good pictures of street signs, and they sell in other countries because, you know, they're looking for images like that and they don't have access to things like that.
Yeah, that's a really good idea. If you are into stock photography, you have to think that way, right? It's not a matter of, it's boring to me. It's a matter of, this is what they need in stock photography. Something else that I thought was really cool, and I got a chance to fulfill one of my bucket list things recently, was when Chris Hadfield was in space. He was sending back images that nobody's ever seen before. I mean, they might have seen, but they never captured and sent back to us to see. And it really, really captured my mind watching these photos that Chris was, or Colonel Hadfield's, sorry, was sending back to us.
That's the old scene, man, and I, you know.
I know, just because we hung out in the day, you know.
We're tight.
We're tight, but I got to be respectful. Anyway, just meeting him, finally. He was at the exposure show, the Henry's exposure show, and I got a chance to meet with him, and he was super nice and super genuine, and I told him how much I love his photos that he sent back, and he goes, yeah, some amazing things you can see up there. And I said, yeah, plus, you know, you shoot with Nikon, so you're okay. And he goes, he says, yeah, you know, they are very good cameras. That, you know, they are very good pieces of electronics. That's
bad menus, but they work.
Yeah, they work. Apparently, every 6 months or so, they'd have to replace the cameras or something like that. But anyway, interesting.
It's really annoying trying to get the sensor dust cleaned on your D6000, D7000 when you're in freaking orbit.
Oh my lord, that would be difficult. Big news on sensor cleaning stuff too, by the way. We're going to talk more about that next week. But yeah, just my point was having met Chris Hadfield and seeing how far he was right here in Ontario too, hanging out with us. I mean, it's just it's pretty unique that you get an opportunity to meet with somebody who's been to so many cool places. But doesn't mean we can't make like space. But doesn't mean we can't make cool space photos too. Don't you know? I've got some great moonshots. And Don Komarechka, who's watching right now,
Inappropriate.
he had that great shot of It's not Animal House here, okay? Took me a second.
Speaking of space cadets.
Right, eh? Don has taken great shots of Jupiter. He showed it when he was on the show with Andy Blanchard. The one shot he took from his SLR camera. So you can make some great shots of space. You can make some great shots of trees. All of these unique things that we have. Mushrooms, the focus stack shot that I made of the mushroom when I was up in Algonquin Park. That's a classic example of taking something that you see every day and turning it into something that's maybe a bit bigger than life. All right, question here from Natalia. I'm actually driving all the way down to Florida. Can anyone recommend any places to see on the way down? Well, if my mother's watching...
Get off the interstate. That's all you have to do. Set your GPS for Lebanon, because there is a Lebanon in every state, all the way from here down to South Carolina. I don't know when you go past South Carolina, but I was down there a bunch of years ago, and it was like every state there was, you're 60 miles from Lebanon, 60 miles from Lebanon. I was like, just Lebanon's everywhere.
Well, there's a Lebanon, New Hampshire. I know that.
But yeah, there's so much scenery that you can see when you get off the interstate. If you just stay on the interstate, you're not going to see too much. But you just, you take some of the side roads. Now, it's not going to get you down there that quick. But, if you get off it for a couple hours every day, that'll get you some photo opportunities.
Another thing is a long drive like that is a perfect opportunity for a time lapse.
Yeah, that would be very cool. A couple of them, inside and outside the car. Yeah, it's just me.
Yeah, just strap a GoPro onto the side and let that puppy run.
Let it run. Kathleen says she has lived in Arizona for 38 years, but she was born and raised in BC. She finds herself thinking there's nothing interesting to shoot. Go to Google and cruise the photos of my area and get all sorts of ideas and inspiration. That's a great idea. Get some inspiration from social media. I swear that Google Plus has changed everything for me. 500px as well, seeing some of the photos posted on both of those places are just awesome. I made a post on my Google Plus page this morning how I was viewing my Google Plus page as though I was the public, not viewing it as myself. And as I was scrolling down, all of the tags for our shows started showing up. And as I mentioned not last week, but the week before last week, all the winners from our photo challenges are the thumbnail for our shows. So, of course, as I'm scrolling down my page, I'm seeing these amazing photos, which are the winners from our photo challenges. And I'm just absolutely in love with the photos that are being posted. And to see all those photos on my stream as something that I've been a part of, it was a really, really cool thing. And these are all photos mostly from around here, and they capture your eye, they capture your attention, and they're fun to look at. Cool stuff. All right, so let's see what else we got here. Do you have to go to New Zealand to take a photo that looks like New Zealand? Bueller?
No, you just turn your camera upside down and take a picture of the tree.
It's an idea.
Back 12 hours.
Can you handle that one there, Brian? You're a little slow tonight. Can you handle that one?
No, I got that one. I got that one. Anyway, so my point being, or trying to make a point, is that if you look closely at anything, you can find these details that you wouldn't normally see. And if you get down there and you take these shots, you can make fern with a nice little tint or something look like a lush Hobbitville or something, right? Mm-hmm. There's fern all the time.
If you get close to some anthills and things like that, you can make those look like Hobbitville. Just ask the ants to step outside for a couple of minutes while you take the pictures.
Has that ever worked out for you?
No.
No. Okay. Well, it's cool stuff.
He thought he was speaking ant, but he was actually speaking beetle, and things got awkward.
Yeah, and, I had some matches in my pocket, and they were fire ants, so they just sort of.
And they said, "You're fired." Well, wait a second.
Interesting challenge. That'd be if I were to say to myself, "Okay, it's Saturday and I'm bored. I want to take a picture that looks like Zimbabwe." Or I don't know where's the World Cup being held right now?
Brazil.
Brazil. So say, I want to take a picture that looks like Brazil and do some Google searches, find out a characteristic look for Brazil, and then try and recreate it here. That'd be a fun challenge if you're feeling sort of down on your creativity to kind of spur some original thought.
That would be a fun challenge, and it's kind of funny and ironic that you say that.
Oh.
We'll talk about that later.
Oh.
All right. So, speaking of photo challenges, we've got a lot of photos to go over from our photo challenge. We've got about 20 minutes or so to do it. So what do you say we kind of branch off now and go to our photo challenges and have a look at what other people have been doing. Gabriel, while you pull up those photos, I'm going to quickly talk about what these folks are talking about in our Q&A. First, Ron says, Friday the 13th is a full moon. The next time this will happen is in the year 2049. I was actually thinking about having a bunch of friends get together on Friday the 13th and go to a local cemetery and do some cemetery photography on a full moon on Friday the 13th. Who's in?
I got a photo shoot to do up in Huntsville, so I'll be away.
All right. I don't think anybody would be in. It's kind of creepy. All right. Also, Blake says, I've had one of my photos called Very Canadiana. When you go to a location, do you ever find it influences your style? Good question. Good question. It does, definitely. If I'm going to be going to the woods during like the Maple Run when everybody's got the sugar shacks going, I'm totally thinking of making it look like a classic maple photo, right? If I'm going to be walking through the woods, then I want to make it look that classic Ontario woods thing. It definitely influences how I feel about photography. Guys, do you have anything to add?
I guess it's what you know and how you photograph it. I mean, the filmmakers come to Ontario and they film things and they make they'll make Toronto look like New York, or they'll make the outskirts look like whatever. So there's no reason why you couldn't make some parts of just around here look like Vermont, or to make it look like Arizona, with the Badlands. So you can make it look like whatever you can find.
Mm-hmm.
Terry, the image that's on Gabriel's screen right now, the lazy river, that could almost look like some of those Louisiana rivers. Where they have the swamp boats, from the James Bond movies, driving those things around in there. But it can almost look like that, depending on how much you crop it and clone out the Canadian goose. Dead giveaway. Got to get the American goose in there.
That is a bit of a tell. Yeah, the American goose, right? Julie has a good idea. She says that if she has a meeting in a certain place, like Markham or Orangeville, etc., she searches places of interest in that area to photograph. When her meeting's over, she knows exactly where to take some pictures. It's a great idea. Do a little research when you're going to be somewhere and see what you can find. Research is important. That's how I found some of the best Daytripper photo spots we've ever done. And Blake, yes, of course, you'd be in on that photo shoot at the cemetery. Thank you very much, my friend. We'll still talk about that.
About Blake.
Yeah, he says crazy as I am. All right, so now since you've got that open there, Gabriel, let's talk about some of these photos. So first of all, yes, I agree with you, Darren, that Terry's photo is definitely kind of a location-less place. You can find that in so many places, although the kinds of trees definitely tell that it's this area. Beautiful shot. Oh, it's a mallard duck, by the way. It's not a Canada goose, so there are mallard ducks all over the place. Oh, Sean's in too. Cool. We're getting quite the party going to this cemetery. Very cool. It's all the usual suspects too, right?
It's when you hear the news title, "A photo outing ended in disaster." When
I should put the word out to the Bryans, see if we can get everybody going.
Oh dear.
All right, scroll down there, Gabriel. Let's get this thing.
Right, so should I go down to sort of the first lazy? I like that one. Okay.
The massage, the scroll.
Scroll. Where's
there we are. That's it.
Right. Okay.
So Natalia, she posted the lazy peppers, lazy meal.
Oh.
Peppers.
Nice.
I love roasted
colorful.
peppers.
Nice shallow depth of field. Good use of colors.
Yeah, I like the green ring around that one on the left. That's kind of cute.
Mm-hmm. The green ring?
Yeah, the
around the one on the
stem.
left.
Oh.
The
A
stem.
little tip when you're shooting these things, you might not notice it when you're looking through the viewfinder at the time, but if she could have just altered her angle a little bit and blocked off the brick wall that's behind and just had the barbecue there, that would have lessened the distraction. It would have drawn the attention more into those, because I find that the brick wall sort of takes away a little bit from the colors of the peppers.
That's true. So maybe shot it straight, a little more straight on.
Well, just move the peppers over to the right a little bit and zoom in a little bit more and try to crop out a little bit more of the wall. Those are little things that you pick up. I'm starting to see that a lot more now. Before I take the image, I'm looking to see what's behind there.
Mm-hmm.
It's I was shooting a bat mitzvah this weekend, and we were doing portrait pictures outside. And so the mother was like, "Oh, let's set up here. This is really nice." And so I put the camera up to my face. I'm like, "Okay, can you just move 3 feet over to the left?" And she was a little perturbed. And I'm like, "I can tell you what." I took a picture right there. I said, "Now move 3 feet to the left." And I showed her the picture. And she's like, "Oh my God, that's so much better. What's the difference?" I go, "Well, the difference is you don't have this building in the background. And as you shoot more and more, you're going to realize that your backdrop is just as important as what you're taking a picture of."
Absolutely. Pay attention to the foreground and the background.
Yeah.
Almost looks like she used some off-camera flash or something.
Mm-hmm.
Nice lighting on that.
Almost some selective color too.
No, I don't think so. I think that's the way they work.
Okay. Okay, so we've got Ron and Lori now for the cemetery shoot. Only if we bring the steel wool, though. Apparently, is the only reason Ron will come. We'll talk about that. All right, keep on going here.
All right, so Danielle next?
Yes.
Okay, so Hazy Lazy Days of Summer.
It's a great shot. I love the tone. I love the color. It's not easy to get that focus exactly on the snail, and the leaf is over top and everything. Oh, and Julie's in too. Sorry. Squirrel.
There you go. Quite the crew.
I know, eh? This is turning into something good. We gotta find a cemetery we're not gonna get kicked out of.
Well, I used to, oh God, it's such a strange sentence coming out of my mouth now. We used to take our girlfriends for picnics at the Aurora one, and they were always very accommodating, so maybe.
And then take them over to the river and watch the submarine races.
No, when we were kids, there's a really nice, because cemeteries are beautiful areas, and they're big grassy, big grassy areas, and so yeah, we used to go for. It was when we were in high school, and everything was all emotional and dramatic, anyways, right? So.
Okay, the real question is, did you bring the Ouija board?
No, we were never dumb.
All right, good. Never dumb. Okay. Back on track here for a second. Natalia says that she did not use flash for that photo, just so we know.
Okay. Good to know.
All right. So, Danielle.
Lazy sea lions?
Jordan?
Yes.
Lazy sea lions. There's quite a few sea lion photos, and Chris says that she's in as well. It's for the other thing. But Chris also posted some sea lion photos. It seems like everybody was in Sea Lionville these days. All these Okay, see, that's something that we can't reproduce here in Ontario.
That's just up in Georgina, man. You gotta move up there. Darren and I both live up there now, man.
Oh, that's you two sitting on that buoy?
We're starting the Georgina division of Daytripper Photo.
Oh, okay. It's Daytripper North, I guess. Well, it's not really north. Daytripper a little higher.
I like that. That's nice. I love that there was enough of a depth of field, so that was on F5, and you see the nice little cottages in the background, and they don't distract from the image. But when you're done looking in the middle, you're like, oh, what else is here? And you're treated with this little treat of these kind of cottages in the background. Yeah,
they're cute little houses, and they do add to the shot.
Yeah, they definitely do, and they don't distract from it, but they add to it, which is nice.
And not to take away from Jordan's photo in any way, but Lori says, Gabriel, the cemetery was accommodating, or the girlfriends were accommodating?
I have a comment.
But you're a happily married man right now.
It was accommodating all around.
And then Marjorie says, "How would you get kicked out of the cemetery? She thought people were dying to get in."
Oh.
All right, thank you. Back on track.
All right, we're gonna do Mark. I love this one. This is hilarious.
This one is like very close to my heart because it's a tortoiseshell, and we all know that tortoiseshells are the best cats around. But this one is a very big tortoiseshell.
Very big boned.
Big boned, and apparently too lazy to stand while he eats.
Not their problem. It's a thyroid problem.
Don't judge.
It's a glandular issue.
Don't judge.
Why you gotta be hating, man? That's cute. I think it's funny when you. I just think it's cute when you see animals do that.
I do too. Angel, my tortie, she usually sleeps in a little basket, and if you plop the food right outside the basket, she'll literally just poke her head out from under her blankets and just start eating, and all you see is this head eating. Talk about lazy. But she's 21. She has an excuse, right?
Yeah, she's like 300 in here.
Oh, Darren. That is cute.
What am I missing?
Darren's cat.
I had the door closed, and every time I'm here, right about this time, he wants to come in just because the door is closed.
Oh.
Darren showing off
I
his
don't want to
kitty.
go in there, but the door is closed, so I must get in there.
It is a cat, right?
Yeah.
That's how they think. Okay, back on track.
Nice, another really nice snail macro.
Danielle's got some great snail macros.
Yeah, you got the whole what do they call that? The golden ratio, the golden spiral, the
Fibonacci.
Yeah, the Fibonacci. Yeah, going on right in the little snail there.
Mm-hmm.
I don't
Great
know, but
detail.
I think her photo production's moving at a snail's pace.
Yuck. She's gonna meet you in a dark alley and beat you with her camera. All right,
Oh,
now
yeah,
this
that's
is
fine.
interesting. I really like this one as well
That's
because
really artistic.
it reminds me a lot of the pepper. The photo of the pepper.
Mm-hmm.
It's that black and white, nice tone to it.
Okay, yeah, great toning. I love how one pair is being lazy and leaning on another one.
What does it say about lazy? One pair leaning on the other one. That's how you see it.
Yeah. I see like all the other pairs are standing up on their own, and this one's being lazy and leaning up against the other.
Interesting. Well, I love the tones.
All do you?
I see it. Now that you pointed it out.
Oh, okay. I thought
Thank
you
you.
were like, thinking I was nuts.
No. I already know you're nuts, but that's for different reasons.
Okay. You're like, oh, interesting. Who invented the wacko?
It's okay. It's all right. It's all good.
Let's go. Are we doing multiple pictures from people, or just like one picture from?
Well, we'll just scroll up, and whichever ones we see we want to look at, we'll look at. We've got about 10 minutes left of the show, so.
Okay. So this is cute. Yeah. About to go on a cruise. Lazy, relaxing, take your feet off. You can tell he just took his shoes and saw you guys still got the lines in the feet.
Yeah.
So he's like, I am preparing to be lazy.
And it's almost like he's too lazy to get up and catch the boat. Like the boat's going by without him.
Oh, there goes the boat. Nice.
So, Rhonda shot.
Oh, am I on the right one?
No, that's
No.
perfect, Julie.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay, you were there. There you go. So here's Julie's. It's a cute shot.
It is nice.
I like how he's sitting in the shadow.
I'm in the middle of this whole debate on Facebook where there's this group of people saying that there's never any reason to take a picture of anybody without their knowledge, no matter where you are, in public or private and stuff. And it's like, pictures like these are fantastic pictures. You're not going to bother the guy. You're going to let him sit down and relax, but take a great picture.
Right. What do you say? Excuse me, would you mind just like looking lazy for me?
Yeah, and then sign this model release.
Yeah, right. No, steal it. Steal his soul while you're at it. That's a great idea.
Okay, it's a great picture. It's a comment on, life in the area where the picture was taken, and yeah.
It also
I think it's
shows,
more I think it's
Go
more
ahead.
abject depression because his wife has already brought back 2 bags and she's still got his credit card.
And that wife, yeah, who knows?
I figured this was taken right outside of a mall. And she's like, here, hold my purse while I go shopping. And he's just sitting there contemplating the mistakes that he's made in his life that got him to where he is today.
It's neat because there's a lot of stories here. Apparently, you've put Darren to sleep. The story I see is that somebody was too lazy to pick up their coffee cup.
Yeah, I see that too.
Because I see litter and I just get angry. That's just me.
That's your superpower.
It is. I sense litter.
That was
The weirdest
cute.
superpower ever. Okay, so now I know why. I know this photo here. Rhonda and a bunch of the folks from the community shot the Run, Walk, and Roll event on Saturday, and I can tell you for a fact that they were not lazy. They got up very early, and they took all those photos, and sorry, Gabriel just private messaged me and calls me Litter Man. Litter Man. Anyway, sorry, Rhonda. I don't want to take away from your photo. So you can see that he's got all his cameras on him, and he's just taking a short break. But I wouldn't necessarily call it lazy because you got up real early to shoot this, and it was a pretty big event. And really appreciate you guys doing that too, by the way.
It looks like it might be staged, which it means that she was thinking about the theme of the event.
Which is a good thing.
He's being a lazy photographer, resting the camera on his knee and just clicking every time they go by.
Yeah, maybe that's what it is.
And just because his name is Ansel, he's going to sell them for like $10,000 a pop.
What a hack.
Oh, yeah, that Ansel, he was just a hack.
So I like this picture. It's a great picture.
Is it Tiger Woods? Tiger Woods, yeah. No, I know it's not Tiger Woods. I'm just joking.
Oh, wow.
What? He kind of looks like Tiger.
Dude.
What?
Daytripper Photo is not liable for the incredibly horrendous comments made by...
What's wrong with Tiger Woods?
I like this. I like the picture. I get the lazy summer day, but I don't get lazy from the picture. But, yeah. I played the trumpet. It's not something you do when you're lazy.
No, it's not.
No. It's aggravating and annoying.
And where your mouse is kind of makes it look like thank you for moving your mouse, because that was just awkward.
Oh, I didn't see where my mouse was. Okay.
Yeah.
That's
And
good.
Rhonda says, staged, never. Never staged.
Oh, okay.
No, I think she's being sarcastic.
Oh. Oh, okay.
Of course she's going to yell back at me, no, I was not being sarcastic. All right, sorry.
That's nice. I like that one.
Mm-hmm.
Very lazy.
I want to know the story here. Is this a person that she knew? Or is this just somebody sprawled?
It says in her in the write-up on it that she was with a group of her friends and they were, like kidding her about, oh, you're not going to go up and take that photo of that perfect stranger, are you? Kind of idea.
Oh, so it was
her.
Oh, okay.
a dare photo.
Here's another example of a lazy afternoon. Jody laughed at me for sneaking up to capture this photo, but I thought it was worth it. Definitely worth it. Totally.
Definitely.
Lazy. Let's just, the internet is for cats, so let's show some cat pictures.
I love this cat. This is a cute cat.
That is a cute cat.
The
That's going to be
expression.
a pretty shallow f3.2 at 200 millimeters. Okay, that's why, because this eye is a little bit more. Actually, the nose is.
Actually, if you zoom in on it, you can see that the focus was on the nose, not on the eyes.
Yeah. Okay. That's all right. That's what was getting me. So the nose is nice and sharp, and then yeah, the eyes are. This eye's a little bit more in focus than that one.
That's
So
one of
super
that's
shallow
one of
depth of field.
those learning experiences that will teach you that when you're taking photos with shallow depth of field, you need to make sure you focus on the eyes, and then you just lifelong begin, up close, focus on the eyes.
Yeah.
We had a lot of that when we were shooting the falcons, the birds of prey. focus on the eyes. Always keep your focus on the eye, and it worked.
Yeah, hard to keep the bird in the viewfinder, let alone the focus point on the eye.
That's true. That's true.
Okay, so we've got some squirrels that are not lazy. Yeah.
But you gotta show the massaging squirrel. I know that it's not really like something that he's expecting to win with, but I love that photo.
I love this.
And we're getting all these people posting squirrel photos now, by the way, because when we go on a tangent, we call it squirrel, right? So it seems to be like everybody's posting squirrel photos. So keep them up. I love the squirrel photos.
I hope there's no offense taken, but I'm gonna go past some of the cat pictures. Here's a dog picture. Because everybody knows dogs rule, cats drool. So,
come on now. My cat does not drool. Well, sometimes she does, but it's a cute. Very cute dog.
Good looking dog. We're going to scroll past some of the... Okay.
Now, pull up Elizabeth's photo. Thank you. Yes. The reason I wanted to see this one, Elizabeth is extremely interested in photography. She does a great job. She's been using a Fuji point and shoot. She just picked up a brand new Canon Rebel, and I can see she's going to have so much fun. When she posted this, Joe, I believe it was Joe, made the suggestion about possibly cropping away the yellow flower, or the white flower, I should say. And, Elizabeth took the comment and says, thank you for the comment. I'm going to give that a shot. And that's a real sign of somebody who is open to improvement. And the photo, I like the photo as it was, but a little tip from a community member opens your eyes to a different idea, and you say, yes, I will try that idea. That's exactly what being creative and always wanting to be better is all about. So as far as I'm concerned, Elizabeth is a prime example of a perfect Daytripper community member because she has an open mind and she's out there trying it, and good for her. Excellent work.
It's great. Good story. Yeah, that's good. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I always like trying, seeing my pictures from a different angle.
What's that?
I always like, hearing how other people view my images and then making me look at my images from a different angle.
Yeah, that's true too. I like that too.
Okay, so looks like the maintenance guy for this farm is a little late. Hey, that's the house I just bought. Come on, go easy.
It's a fixer-upper. You said that. Yeah, see, this is what I was saying before about the classic Ontario abandoned homes, and there's so many old 100-year-old plus houses that are, people just walk away from, and there they are sitting there.
I shot one like that on Leslie on the way home that I said I was going to post, and I think it got lost in a memory card. It's probably still around somewhere. But the cousin to this house.
I think I know exactly which one they're talking about because there are some beautiful, beautiful abandoned houses up that way in Georgina.
We'll do a run one day. A bunch of us will get together and check them all out.
Lots of beautiful places up in Georgina, Brian.
Oh, are you trying to hint at something?
2/3 of Daytripper Photo lives up there now, Brian.
Yeah, but...
It's called the Wick.
No, it's Georgina.
I live in the patch. I'm quite happy.
Yeah, really.
You can keep the wick. I got the patch. You know what I'm saying?
I love this one. This one's awesome.
That is nice.
Marjorie, you got a little bead of slime going down, connecting to whatever it is that back there, and he's going over the jump. He's about to catch some air. You can see him. He's like bending his head down because he's about to go wah.
Okay, now all of those things make me feel like he's not lazy, like he's some sort of superhero.
Oh yeah, that's right.
I mean, he's a slug.
And maybe he's like slumped over asleep.
But
it's a good angle to capture the depth of field along the plane, the same plane that the slug is on, and the path that he's going to go down. So it really tells a story, creates a line, a diagonal line across the photo.
You don't usually see them shot from that angle.
No.
So it's a very unique perspective on that. Okay.
Sorry, I was making notes.
Yeah. This is my lawn in a few months. Okay.
Julie says on that photo with the guy laying down, she said she was on a photo walk in Toronto and he was laying in the same area as the guy on the beach. On the bench, not the beach.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, it made much more sense when I can actually read. If there was no beach, I'm thinking, where was the beach?
Where's the
It was a bench. That's what it was.
All
And
right.
Don, yes, I will count you in on the abandoned house run. And Blake, that's fantastic that the new head of Google Plus is a big fan of squirrels. Just saying.
Maybe
Cool.
we'll have you on the show.
Hey, maybe we'll have him on the show.
Yeah.
He can be our squirrel expert. All right, sorry. Back to Jim's photo.
Okay. This is This is Jim's photo. I like this one. Lazy property owner, lazy, grass cutter.
The grass in the yard directly behind my house is longer than that grass.
This will be, once I buy the house, this will be my lawn.
This will be your lawn.
I want Jaden to go in the back to play and get lost.
You're trying to grow your own jungle forest.
Yeah, exactly.
Unique location.
It's going to be an adventure.
What kills me is when I went back there and I told my neighbor how, it breeds mosquitoes and snakes and all that, she had no clue. She wanted to use my lawnmower, which is a plug-in electric mower, to clean that kind of grass. I was like, yeah, I don't think so. Bog is all I have to say. No, it's a great shot. Darren, you had something to say about this as well, eh?
No, I just imagine sitting down there being lazy.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely. It's a great shot.
All right. Let's do a couple. Oh, there's only a couple more anyways. So another cat one. All right, cool cats.
Well, there's a funny story to that cat one because Ron goes on to say how that you can have a bug jump right on that cat's nose and he's too lazy to do anything about it.
Yeah.
That's the funny story.
Oh, sorry, I was waiting for the funny story.
Ron is gonna punch you.
I'm just in the mood tonight. I'm sorry. Apparently, buying a house makes me snarky.
Anyway,
I used to have a cat like that. You could drop a bomb next to her head, and she's just gonna look out, and go meh,
meh.
It's fine. That's the thing with cats. They either go with the flow or they don't. Like my cat now, you can snap your fingers and they'll be like, "What's going on?" and tear out of the room.
Yeah, but all you have to do is change ringtones on your phone, and your cat will go crazy. I created a new ringtone on my phone for real estate agents, and one called tonight about 8:30. Cat, I've never heard that sound before.
How to mess with your cat.
That's right.
Very good. Very good.
So this one here, the problem with this one here is that if you zoom in and enhance, which I can't do right now, you can actually clearly see a jogger in the background. And that's not lazy, so
You
maybe
can.
we'll Photoshop. Yeah, there's a person wearing a blue sweater, and she's jogging across the background. So, but that's just me being pedantic and
That's what Photoshop's for. It'll give Terry something to do tonight.
Phone tool.
My thing is funny.
There's somebody that gave a course on selections.
Well, this would be cloning. That's a different course.
That's true.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, that was a good course that you offered, by the way, Darren.
Yeah, it was fun. And everyone's got a picture of Bryan now.
Oh, you used my photo for all that, me on crutches, right?
The one that I'd selected, yeah, I left them with the selection of you, so they can just load it up and start plopping you around everywhere.
Okay, so here's the story. On one of our Algonquin Park day trips, I had pretty banged up my ankle about 2 weeks before the day trip. I was on crutches, and I wasn't allowed to go anywhere. All I could do was sit in the bus and stand outside the bus and give a little talk, and then Darren Gabriel and everybody else would have to lead the clients through to the places. So we're stopped outside of Ragged Falls, and I'm at the bus watching this little Jack Russell Terrier running around like a mad dog. And these guys go down to the lake, and they see monks in their orange robes and everything, beautiful, dressed right on the right on the rocks and the waterfalls, and it was classic. It was beautiful, and couldn't see any of it. I had to stay at the car. So luckily, Darren cloned me out and pasted me onto the rocks down by the monks, and I got in trouble from my wife because she thought I was trudging through into the rocks. So now this photo of me on crutches is going to be posted by everybody, and I'm never going to hear the end of it. Thank you, Darren. All right, back to our photo challenge.
I think I got Ron with that one too. He looked at it and he thought, "Holy crap! Brian's standing that close to the moose and he's on crutches."
It was pretty funny. It was good times, though. It was good times. All right, so.
All right. So we got another sea lions. Guessing up in Georgina again. Very nice.
Yeah, the Georgina Sea Lion Club.
Yeah. So that's pretty cool. 70, 200 millimeter. Wow, yeah, you're pretty close to them. Take that with a 200 millimeter.
That could have been cropped also.
Oh, that's true.
7D.
Yeah.
7D is a very good camera, don't you know?
I know.
I can't believe how they have moss growing on their backs. Is that moss?
No, I think it's just like patches in the front. Oh, there. Oh, yeah,
right.
It could be. It could be.
That is weird. You've got to be pretty lazy to have moss grow on you.
Yeah.
So I don't know. This one just moved up higher into my ranking.
Oh, that's a whole new level of lazy. That's like
that is the different kind of lazy right there, isn't it?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Nice. And then last one, the lazy. What is it? Lazy, crazy days of summer.
But these kids are not lazy.
But the day is lazy.
The day is lazy, but the kids are running around like crazy kids.
They're crazy, lazy daisy kids.
Blake says that our screen froze on him, so I hope that we're working for everybody. If anybody's watching and we're working, can you just give us a little heads up through the Q&A or something, just to let us know that we're talking to people and not just talking to nobody like we usually are. I feel so lonely now. Okay. So is that it?
That's it.
That's it. Those are all the photos.
That's it for lazy.
Well, we had a good showing of photos for this week. A lot of great stuff. Well done. Applause, applause. Thank you, everybody who submitted photos for the photo challenge. Mm-hmm. And I know we had 2 weeks to submit, and it probably felt, oh, that's molting fur. Thank you, Don. Molting fur. So not as lazy as we thought. So back down on the rankings. Okay. How do you know everything, Don? You're like 2 years old and you know everything. I don't understand that. All right. Thank you for that. So, for those of you who want to participate in our photo challenges, this is how it works. It's very straightforward. We give a challenge, and you go and make photos. And then you post them to our community, and you tag them Weekly Photo Challenge. So when you post to our community, you can choose. Is it going to go to discussion, photography, education, day trips, blah, 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 blah. All those things along the left side of the wall. If you choose for that to just be for our photo challenge, share it to photo challenge. And then we'll know, and it'll be on this page, and we'll be able to talk about it. All right, so major issues with Rogers. Rogers service down. Many customers across Canada can't place or receive calls. Home phone not working. Internet not usable. Interesting. Screen was frozen for a few minutes. Now it seems to be fine. And Marjorie says it seems to be fine for her. So I guess we're still going. We're okay. Hopefully we haven't killed Rogers with our little show here.
Quick, let's get the show done before we get canned.
All is good in the wick.
Rogers.
Yeah. Sean says all is good in the wick. So Sean's your neighbor too now, guys. Jeez, I really do have to.
We've got Sean up here. We've got Mike. We've got Maureen. She's up in Jackson's Point. Like we got the whole clan. Got the whole group up here.
Except me. Eh.
Yeah. Well, you know, you'll come along.
Well, we got other squirrels here.
And yes, a lot of nature documentaries. Absolutely, I believe that. Did you watch the one on Sasquatch? Come on, say you did, because you know it's real. All right, I was just watching it yesterday. It was very interesting. And it was Northern Ontario. Squirrel. Hey, did I tell you guys about the time I was kidnapped, or I was kidnapped by aliens when I was in Algonquin Park? Did I tell you? Is this not the time? All right, Julie says it's working here. And Chris thanks Don as well for that little bit of information. That's very nice. And Marjorie says, please, please kill Rogers. No.
Bell's
Kill
just as
Rogers.
bad, so.
Yeah, no killing in my lifetime. Thank you very much.
Well, it's like with my customers that are upset with, the Rogers, and they want to switch to Bell. I'm like, yeah, because it's gonna be so much better. They all suck.
Yeah,
They all do.
this is my Rogers bill for my phone at the cottage, and every month I have to pay the whopping sum of $13.99 for a phone at the cottage.
Highway robbery. I tell
That's
you.
highway robbery, yeah.
No, it's like back roads robbery. There's no highways up at the cottage. What's wrong with you? Oh, I guess it's just an expression.
The nice thing about Rogers, and I have to say to their credit, I called them up the other day because I knew we were closing in on closing this house, and at that point, I started getting terrified, realizing how much our monthly expenses are, and so I called them up and I'm like, listen, I'm buying a house. These are the services I have with you. This is how much I'm paying. We need to do better. And by the end of the conversation, I was getting faster internet, the same phone service for $50 less a month. So I was pretty happy.
That's awesome. Yeah, I mean, they do work with you, and you can talk to whomever. You get the right person, and you can make some good things happen. It's all about how you deal with people, just like anything else. You get pulled over by the police, what, are you going to be a jerk? No.
Right.
You're going to talk to them nicely, and you're going to get better respect from them.
Exactly.
I guess same thing applies to Rogers employees. And camera salesmen, too, by the way, people. We have souls, Sorry, going on a squirrel. Seriously, retail employee workers take the biggest brunt of people's aggression, like you wouldn't believe. But that's for another show.
I used to work for Availability, and it was back in the early days of cell phones. Every time the network went down or somebody dropped a call, they would come back into the store and complain to us about it. Dude, we sold you the phone, but I guess at that point, we were the front facing. Now you call tech support and yell at them. But it was, it made for some interesting afternoons.
Well, we're not going to cure all those issues by talking about them for 2 minutes, so we'll move forward past that. And we will do a show on that.
Remember, tomorrow, go out and vote properly.
Oh, that's tomorrow?
That's tomorrow.
Vote Rhino Party.
I forgot to get my name on the ballot.
Is that?
You can have your name added. All you have to do is show proof of residence. So bring your driver's license.
Oh, no, I mean added to the ballot. Vote for me.
Oh.
Oh, I'd vote for the Daytripper photo party.
Would you?
Absolutely.
I think the Daytripper photo party would be a solid party, if you think about it. I mean, all our goals, our morals, our ethics are all intact. Okay. All right. Thank you for reminding. We'll talk about that down the road, 10 years down the road. So the winners for this week's photo challenge are, in third place, Jim for the chairs photo. Lazy chair. Very nice photo. In second place, thank you. In second place, Terry with the lazy river. Because even though there's a person wearing a purple thing jogging past, it's still a really nice photo, and it's lookable, and it definitely shows lazy, and I liked it.
He was too lazy to clone the guy out. What can we say?
Exactly. That's all part of the whole theme, though. It works. So, the first place photo, and the winner of nothing this week,
We're too lazy to surprise.
We're too lazy, but great news about prizes, guys. Watch next week because there's going to be a really, really big announcement. I'm super excited about that. The winner for first place is Jordan for his photo of the boat passing by with his feet hanging out with the little imprints on them. That was excellent.
Very cool.
Thank you so much, everybody, for submitting photos for our lazy challenge.
There were some other really fantastic photos, and it's just, I guess, up to the judges how they feel, whether it met the theme or whether it was a really good photo. And some of them were like spectacular photos. Didn't quite touch on the theme. So if your photo didn't win, don't think that it's not a good photo or they don't like my photos. It's just the luck of the draw.
And unlike many Facebook photo competition challenge things, it's not a popularity contest. That's not who wins these things. In fact, I don't even like Jordan. I don't even. No, I'm just kidding. I like Jordan very much.
We do have bribes, however.
No bribes. We judge by what we think we like and what we see. So hope everybody enjoys our photo challenges, and by the looks of all the photos being submitted, it seems like it's doing well. So here's the photo challenge theme for this coming week. This week is take a foreign photo, but locally.
Ooh.
Kind of on the tip, like Gabriel was saying. Make a photo.
I had no idea that was coming.
Around our area. Well, that's because it wasn't in the show notes. I just thought about it. Cool. And then make it look like it's something from a different place. So when we look at these photos, we're not just going to say, yeah, that's Ontario. We're going to look at it and think, yeah, that's Ontario, but it looks like someplace else. Because that's what we're looking for. What do you think, guys?
I think that's a great idea.
That sounds great. Great challenge.
Awesome. So take a foreign photo and take it in your backyard or something like that. And yes, Don, you used to work at Black's. Absolutely. I'm sure you have some horror stories from working retail.
Is that Don Komrushka?
Yeah.
Oh, hello, fellow Twist minion. He'll know what that means.
Well, you can't just let one person in the world know what that means.
There's a podcast I listen to called This Week in Science with Dr. Kiki, and at the end of the show they give a shout out to the people that have donated to the show and help, financially with the show, and Don Komrushka's name always comes up there. So I was driving down, and I mean, it's totally random because he's into photography. I'm into photography and science, and I'm listening to This Week in Science, and it's like, thanks to our other helpers, Don Komrushka. I'm like, dude, really? So he's kind of everywhere. We share a lot of the same interests.
He is everywhere. That's why he knows so much at such a young age, because he does so much.
It's great for him for supporting the sciences, and Dr. Kiki Stanford is awesome. So if you like science, check out This Week in Science. It's a phenomenal podcast.
Very cool. All right. Well, that's pretty much us for the night. Anything else to add before we say goodbye to everybody, guys?
No, monsieur.
No, monsieur. Okay.
Thanks for tuning back in. Sorry for the gap, but our viewership was like at an all-time high, so maybe we should skip a week every
Maybe we should do it every other week. What do you think, everybody? Nah, I like doing it every week.
Me too.
I do. I really missed it. During the show last week, I was laying on the bed there. I couldn't move. My back was out. And all I could think is, God, I feel like I'm missing out on this. It's just so much fun doing it.
It takes me off every time I have to miss a show.
It takes me off every time you have to miss a show, too. But I didn't want to say that.
Just a ball of anger.
Just FTW, man, FTW. All right, guys. Thank you both so much for being on this week, and it's awesome having the three of us back. It was a lot of fun. Next week's show is going to be interesting, and I'm going to give everybody a little hint. Before you guys shoot your next big shoot, make sure you use your little lens pens and clean your lenses, because it's very important to use the right equipment. And that's all I got to say. So thank you, everybody, for watching. Foreshadowing. Much.
I think I got to use my lens pen sensor cleaner and clean some of the crunge off my my sensor. I'm starting to notice it when I stop down a little bit.
Oh, really? Eh? Yeah. I need to use my lens pen screen cleaner to clean my computer screens too, because they're getting very dirty. So I guess it's all right. There's product out there for stuff like that. I'm sure we'll probably. Lens pen. All right. Anyway, so next week's show is going to be a lot of fun. We don't really know what it's going to be about yet, but tune in because it may keep your eyeballs clean. And thank you.
I know what it's going to be about.
Do you?
It's going to be about an hour and 45 minutes.
Same as every week. Sorry, guys.
Bye, everybody. Have a good night.
Thank you. We're going to say goodnight now. See you, everyone. Bye-bye.